everybody. Welcome back into R&B Club Hockey Live, Season 2, Episode 17, with Brian Baker and Tyler Weekley, the number 1 and number 2 face-off leaders, even though one's a defenseman and one played in one game. You say you're 100%, you say you're 80%, pretty much. Baker, you took one draw.
Yeah, it was one draw right at the end of our game against Kiehl. There might have been 3 seconds left in the game, and we might have been up by 2 goals, and they didn't care, but I still won that draw back. That was the only face-off I took this year.
In the rafters right there.
I put things at 100%, so.
Makes you the best face-off center in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And then the number 2 is Weekley.
Yeah, I mean, Luff wasn't feeling it. His shoulder was still a little injured, but he told me to take a couple face-offs because he didn't feel good about them. And I mean, I just needed my one game to show that I was a born natural center. I've been playing center since I've grown up, so knew how to take face-offs for a while now. So pretty good at them. So.
We should have seen you taking more face-offs in the playoff game since IUP.
No, because I wanted to keep the 100%. I wouldn't lose it.
Who says you would have lost the face-off?
I do. Not very good.
You would have been fine.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'd beat him any day, but that's neither here nor there.
Have we seen a one-on-one face-off battle between you two yet?
Oh, I'd smoke him. Absolutely obliterate him. We could take it out to the deck one day.
I want to see
do that.
Okay.
Bring out a camera.
Yeah.
Next live stream.
Let's take it on the move. Let's go.
When it's nice, we'll go right now. Got my stick in the car.
I don't have mine.
I wish I had mine. I'd offer it up. It's a lefty stick, but
I'd make do.
Make it work, right?
Yeah.
Go off hand on the face-off anyway.
Yeah.
Why not?
No worries, I got it.
Can turn mine around, use the butt end, and still win. So.
Weeks, you played in one game, and you scored 1 goal. Baker played about 30 games and had 0 goals.
Saw that one coming.
But, okay, let's talk about the goal.
Yeah.
How amazing was it? You know, you get your one game, you get the spotlight on you, and you score that, and the crowd reaction, and everything about that moment.
I knew, like, leading up to that game, that entire week, I was just, like, mentally preparing for it. I knew it was going to be, definitely an emotional game and everything. But when I woke up that morning, I probably only got like 4 hours of sleep because I was so excited that night, and I just couldn't wait to be back on the ice. But I knew that, like, when I woke up, I just had that really good feeling of it's going to be a good game. I'm going to do well. I'm going to go out there and show I still got it. So I just knew I had to do that, so did that. And I knew I wasn't going to be too good at shooting, even though I was practicing throughout the week and stuff like that, but not playing for a whole year and only shooting a little bit and not taking it too serious on the ice, it definitely dulls down your senses and skills. But I knew that when I'm on the ice with especially him and on the power play and stuff like that, go to the front of the net and just park my butt there and just put my stick on the ice. And I saw Zinner coming down that wall, and we made eye contact, and I saw him throw it right at me, and I knew just put the stick, tip it up, and it would go in. So happened, and it was a very, very emotional day for me. So
was the celebration planned, or you kind of did about 6 different things? Because you did the hug, and then you went around behind the net, and you went down.
Oh yeah, no, I knew that I wanted to celebrate my own style and my own celly I wanted, but of course, right then and there, like, I wasn't expecting it to actually go in. I knew it was gonna be on net though, so I had to celebrate with them, of course. I mean, after not being there all season and not playing, had to get with them first, and then I just so much joy and emotion just overtook my body, and that's all I could do. So, just so happy.
For you, Baker, of course, being on the ice, I believe you were on the ice for that. Watching that happen, seeing Weeksy get his moment, and especially coming on Secret. Walk us through your emotions of it.
Oh, I mean, it was surreal. I was up on the point, and I saw Zinner go down the wall with it, and I knew he was in front of the net because that's about where he always stayed. But I mean, I didn't even see the puck go in the net. I just saw him celebrate, and I was like, "There's no way." My initial reaction was, "There's no way that puck just went in the net. There's no way it was him." And then I just skated over to him, and his eyes were all red and watery, and I was like, "No, this is awesome." So then I gave him his hug and let him go do his celebration. And then after he went through his celebration and kind of let all the emotions simmer down, I was like, there's no way this guy plays one game and scores. One game, like one shot, and scores, and I just played 19 or 20 of them with nothing.
And you're not the only one. There's still a couple other guys that outscored this season.
That's true.
Max had
None.
None.
Okay, between the whole senior class in 2023, there was 0, I think. So I don't even think Luffer got one until 24. He might have had one.
In 23, if we're not counting last year, in 23,
Yeah.
the entire senior class had 0, I think. Maybe one. Maybe. But it took a while. As soon as Luff got his haircut, he was like goal per game, which I don't know how that one happened. He made sure to remind me that all it took was getting his haircut. So then I got a haircut, and, well,
It didn't happen.
didn't work the same way for me. Nope.
I think Luff kind of secretly credits coming on the pod, too, because you had the Akron game. That was where he got his first. And then coincidentally, after that, it was only up from there. So sometimes we have the podcast curse. Sometimes we have the podcast luck. I think in Luffer's case, it was luck.
You waited until after the season ended to bring me on.
But as we talked about off air, we save the best for last, right?
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take it.
Definitely take that.
There's only one here. I'm the best. You're the last.
Whatever.
You're together. You're a package deal here.
Yeah, that's why we had more fans in the senior night game, because I was playing. Sorry.
There was a lot of Weekley fans there. I'll say that.
Weekly fans.
I got
You
to
get
meet-
one game a year.
I got to meet your grandma. Of course, your mom was down there, and she's like, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a goal. And I'm like, I hope so. And she's like, if he scores, you better call the hell out of that goal. I'm like, I hope so.
Yeah, no. Leading up to that week, I had phone calls and text messages from extended family, close family, all being like, hey, we're going to be there, or hey, we're trying to come. If not, where can we watch? Where can we see it? And I'm like, just send them the link. I'm like, here, we'll be here. And then they're all like, yeah, we'll be here. What time should we be here? I'm like, puck drops this, the senior night, like, ceremony does this, so be here whenever you want. But I knew they were all going to come here because, I mean, they've been my biggest supporters ever since I started playing hockey. Was my family. I mean, my mom and dad and my aunt and grandpa and then all my grandparents, they've always driven an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to see me. My mom just got back yesterday from Boston to watch my brother. They're all going up. Actually, this weekend they're all driving to Philly because he's going to be playing in Philly. So they're going to be making a 5 or 6 hour drive to go watch him, all 6 or 7 of them, all staying in the same hotel. My brother was like, oh, what, you couldn't come for this one? I said, hey, I had my family time. You can hang out with all of them and deal with them. So, but, yeah, they've been my biggest supporters ever since I started, so I couldn't be more grateful.
For your brother, how's the recruiting going to get him here?
Oh, I wouldn't want to bring him here. I mean, I don't want him. He's been in my shadow all my life, so I want him to go off and do his own thing. I mean, he's been accepted to Bama and some Florida school. I can't remember, but I don't know if he'll continue playing hockey there. I know that's the plan, but we'll see where he goes. He still has to finish up juniors for him, so we'll see.
Bama's a good school for hockey, surprisingly.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they only have the Acha D1 team, because I know our D1 team has played him in the past and stuff. But I don't know. We'll see how he still has a couple more games to go and has a little bit left to learn and stuff. But I don't know. I think he's still waiting on Kentucky too on his application there. He's had the most random applications to colleges everywhere, and I couldn't tell you why. But I was excited for him when he got accepted, and I'm going to wish him the best of luck wherever he goes anyway. I'm always going to be there for him. So,
Being from West Virginia, both of you, I figure the schools are kind of limited to, like, West Virginia, maybe a couple of the smaller schools, maybe working to Pennsylvania. No, he's working his way out.
yeah, I mean, that was my plan too, but some things don't happen, and I mean, COVID happened, so that kind of set things back. But I knew I didn't want to go to WU because that's just like older high school. It's everyone we went and grew up with is there already and stuff, and I couldn't deal with that anymore. I was ready for change.
Let's talk about the senior power play as well in that game with you two, Max, Luffer, and then coincidentally Kasivi in front of the net. He scores. How did that come about, and why was Kasivi the fifth player?
I can't even tell you. I mean, obviously, when we were formulating that second power play, it was let's just get all of our seniors on the ice, and I guess we just really wanted that net front presence of someone who's going to park it and he'll tip it. He tips it, and he'll be a big body, and he's not scared to fight for it. So putting him in front, I guess it was a choice, and it worked out. So I have no regrets against it.
No,
So I got the assist on that one, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, I mean, I was plus 3 or 4 that night because of him. So, I mean, I couldn't be upset with it. Big Red did his job. So
we were ripping on Baker a lot for not scoring a goal. You did have like 14 assists. Or
Was
something.
that many?
I think.
That's cool.
Give your flowers on that one. You know, you give a lot of apples. You know the goal scorer, you give the apples.
I do what I can. I was just so sick. This is my 5th year. I've scored enough goals. I had to let everybody else do it.
Goals.
Yeah. Like my
You had
son.
what, 1 last year?
Last year was 1. The year before was 6 or 7. The year before was 2 or 3. And the year before was 5. Don't worry, it's up here. I've had enough.
Remember that, Parker?
How do I remember that? Because in high school I scored 2 total, and then I got to college and scored 5 my freshman year. So that was a monumental year.
Your favorite goal is your OT winner?
It's a tie because that one probably meant the most, like in terms of who we were playing and the point in time of the game it was. But then it comes back to my first ever college goal. We were out in Connecticut, and just over the loudspeaker, I'm on the blue line over the loudspeaker. You hear Country Roads playing, and then 4 seconds later, I take a shot from the point and it goes in. So it's a tie between the two because one of them was the first goal, and I got to have a little bit of West Virginia with me, and the other one was just against Cal-U in overtime. So.
Weeks, do you remember your first goal?
I want to say it was against Canisius our freshman year, but I honestly couldn't tell you if it was or not. I can't really remember that.
Your freshman year was what, 5 games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not long-lived, so I couldn't really tell you if it was like. I wouldn't even really count it until we played sophomore year where it was a full season. So, but I still couldn't tell you which goal it was, or who it was against. So.
We heard a little bit about road trips. What has been your favorite road trip with the team throughout your career?
Oh. You know yours off the top of your head?
Maybe either when we went to Philly last year to play Rowan or Northeastern when we went all the way up to Chicago. Either one of those.
Rowan's the game that you had the pull-up contest in the no game.
Yeah, that was because for some reason we were scheduled for 3 games against them. And third game, they kind of just bit the dust on that and never had refs show up. And we sat there waiting for 20 minutes in our gear. And then Sam started doing pull-ups against their goalie or backup goalie, and some kids were recording it, and it goes viral. So it was pretty funny. But, yeah, I mean, most of those times I'm going to say it is the Philly trip. I think that was my favorite. Just the hotel shenanigans and the trips and the bus ride there and that really nice 5-star meal. Thank you, Norm. So, and
I don't think we've talked about that one yet.
No, and there's some other things, but probably left unsaid.
I mean, mine is probably my freshman year Philly trip, though. I mean, obviously you wouldn't know about it, but we went out there and we had our goalie who was 29 or 30 at the time, Russ, and he lived out there. So he drove out himself so he could be with his family, but he had his car, and we packed me, him, 3 other guys in the back seat, and we drove to King of Prussia Mall. He took me to the Rocky statue, which was awesome. It was like midnight. We had a game the next morning. I don't know how the heck we managed to be out at midnight for that one, but I ran the Rocky steps, and it was like I was out sightseeing 'cause I've never been around there. And then on the way home, Simi and Siggy had hammocks they hung up in the bus, and they let me sleep in one. So that was probably the best overall road trip I've had in my time here.
Talk about the bus ride coming back, of course. You're both pretty well known as Swifties. That has been much said a lot from your teammates.
Yeah.
You, of course, sing a lot of Taylor Swift on the bus. There's proof of that.
Yeah.
You and Max did some rocking out to it. You said you kind of saved him. Was he not a good singer? Or
Well, so we were on our way back. We just lost, and our bus driver was doing a really good job of kind of cheering us up. So he had the microphone that echoes through the entire bus, and he was just like singing covers of songs about being old, and everyone was making fun of me. But then I walked up and see if I just grabbed the microphone and see if it still worked, and we just kind of went down the line singing songs. Max went up and started singing "Love Story" by Taylor Swift, and that's the song that I played before every game, and then I just had to go help him finish it. So, and then that's where the video originates from.
who had the best performance, you think?
Me. Absolutely me. Although Liam did a very good rendition of Revival.
I did see that one.
Yeah, he did a very good rendition of it.
Kiehl, you want to go with one of your more reliable questions here?
As two of the seniors leaving and both wearing letters, who would you like to see wear a letter next year?
That's rough.
See, I can't really talk for who gets which letter, but since there's two of us here, I'll pick two people I'd like to see wearing it. It's going to be Noah Long and Wade Daniels, for sure.
Yeah. Honestly, there have been a couple freshmen that have stepped up this year, and I wouldn't be surprised or upset if one of them took a letter. I think that'd probably be Zinner. He's done a really good job. I think he's really stepped up his game when when the teams needed him, and has just been an all-around great guy for the team. And I mean, he's a mini Brian, so you kind of almost have to give it to him. Maybe for forwards, I would have to agree with Wade or even Jackson. Those two have both done tremendous things and have stepped up, especially when the team has needed them. And I mean, they're probably the best candidates, I think. So
I like that answer. I think very underappreciated guys like Jackson, Wade, Noah, and then Parz is a mini you pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he said that he's been growing all year and he's got more room to grow, but he did learn from the best. So.
The captain. All right, Peyton, you're up.
Well, it's not really a question, but Weeks, I think your mom figured out your first goal was against Mercyhurst your freshman year.
She probably went back and probably has that memory saved. So
That's good back into it. So that's
nice. It's probably because that was she was there for it. I remember taking a picture with her, but she would know much better than I would.
Question. Do you have any superstitions before games? I know playing Taylor Swift obviously seems to be one.
I mean, yours is with your stick. I kind of faded out of it. I faded out of the whole Taylor Swift thing this year, just because you could tell there's a lot of guys in the locker room who didn't really care for it. So I mean, I have it in my earbuds, yeah, but I wouldn't do it. Especially with him and the other guy used to do it with Tyler Flowers. I'd have a whole thing with them, but since he wasn't there at every game, and obviously Tyler Flowers doesn't play anymore, I just kind of didn't have the facilities for what I used to do. Yeah. So it kind of faded that one out. If you want to go ahead and talk about yours, I'm trying to think about what I have.
I mean, I have a few of them. I mean, there's a certain. I mean, I always retape my stick like the day of the game, and then I'll wax it nice and heavy. Make sure that every piece of tape is covered in wax, and then I never let my blade touch the ground. I always keep it pointed up, and even if it's in the stall or if I have to leave it out of the stall, I always put a blade at the top of the wall so it's leaning up. I don't know why, I just never liked a dirty tape job. Like, I hated when it would be on the ground and hair or lint and stuff would get on it. It bugged me, and so I always just kept that, and it always seemed to work for me. I mean, look at senior night did it, so I've always done that. I mean, just small things too, like putting gear on in a certain order and stuff like that, and kind of just keeping my stalls a certain way. But minor things like that, but nothing too crazy. Probably the stick, that's about it.
I guess I wouldn't really call mine superstitions, but it's more or less just things that I did a certain way every time we had a game. Yeah. So I'd wake up and I'd have my first Celsius. And then, so we'd have to get to the rink 2 hours early, and normally I'd wake up early enough that I'd get to the rink 2 hours early, and that's when I'd have my second one, and it'd be all right. And then I'd tape my stick with a very generous coating of wax. I'd get the entirety of the tape, and then I'd get the heel, and then I'd get the top and the bottom as well. My entire stick ended up being white. Didn't matter what color tape I had onto it. Getting on the ice, I was always on the left side of the door. Max always had the right. Little things like that. And then in our shooting line, I'd always give it to I'd pass it to Noah for the final shot, and I'd hit Zinner with a puck right before I took the rebound shot. So little things that just we did, but I don't know if I'd call them a superstition.
I mean, we also have our handshake. Yeah, we always did that. I mean,
seldom got to do it, but
yeah. I mean, you did it without.
I did it with a ghost.
Yeah,
every game.
And then every game I was there, we would do it. So.
I'd give Max a fist bump, and then there'd just be the empty doorway. Or it'd be even better because someone would be there to try and close the door.
Yeah.
And him and I had a handshake, and it was always the last person out. It was me and him. So I would just stand there alone, just swinging at air, and the dude just looking like, what are you doing? I'm like, hold on. Buddy's not here yet. He's not here at all, so I gotta do it.
Or if there'd be times where I'd be on the bench and he'd come over and do it, but we always had to do it. So
Found a way to end up having the motion of a handshake.
yeah.
Did you have to fight Joey to be the last guy off? Because you said it's kind of like your thing, but like all of a sudden when Joey comes in, he says I got to be the last one off the ice no matter what.
It was like the first game, he was just kind of standing there with me and Max, and I was like, didn't know what he was doing. I kind of told him he can get off. He's like, no, I like to be last. And I don't really care to be the last. I'm okay with second to last on, because if that's his superstition, he's kind of a producing player more than me. So if that's what he wants to do, that's what he's going to do. And I always make sure that I'm at least second to last. So I'd make sure that the entire other team was off the ice before me and Joey got off.
I think that would be another one for mine too, is that I always had to be like the last one on the ice for when we would come out for either warm-ups or for the game to start, is that because we would always do our handshake and then I'd run out. So that'd probably be it. That'd probably be the second biggest one besides the stick.
They always said that the best player goes out last. I mean, that's what the Penguins do with Gino when he was the best player on the team, technically, because Crosby, wasn't there yet, so Malkin got it. I mean, in your case, best player goes on the ice last.
Yeah, maybe, if you want to say it that way. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to lie, I stole it from Crosby. 'Cause I always saw him, and he's always been my idol, and I was like, I want to play like him. I love the game like him. I love him, so do as much as I can to be like him, and some things have just kept their way in from when I was a kid, and I've stuck, so.
Let's get into jersey number talk. Why 27?
Oh, this goes way back, because there's been times where, like, when I couldn't wear 27, I would have 11 or 14, and some random times, but when I was real little, maybe 5 or 6, like right after I started playing hockey, but I didn't have set number or anything like that. And my mom still lived in Ohio. I had a best friend. His name was Gino. We used to play baseball together, but he had the number 27, and I think I wore 99, honestly. I can't remember. So, but eventually when I left and moved to Wheeling with my dad, and my mom came back over, and we started going to school in Wheeling again. He was like my best friend, so I kind of brought that, and I was like, I need a number to wear, so I took 27, and it's always been kind of the thing that stuck with me. And I mean, I still talk to him here and now. He plays baseball in Muskegon University, so I keep up with him now, and we reconnected a little bit over high school and after graduation and stuff. And so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much why I wear 27. Was an old childhood best friend that I missed and was super close with. So, but
it's a cool story. I like that. All right, Baker. How do you top that?
His is a lot cooler than mine. So as he can attest, back when we were kids, we couldn't pick our number. It was, you had a choice on, but it was, here's the jerseys you had, you pick you get what happens. You get whatever gets handed to you. So I went from when I was a kid, started wearing 2, 14. I was 14 for a while. I had 4. I was 11 at once, and then one year they gave me 8. And I was like, that 8 looks pretty cool. What would make that 8 look cooler? Put a 1. So then the next year we'd changed our amateur colors from red and black to gold and black. So we had every number to choose from. I was like, can I get that 1 8? Okay, sure. And then from that day, I just stuck. Never switched back.
It's still a fun story.
I mean, his is a bit cooler, more meaningful at least, but
I mean, still a nice little story.
Yeah, it stuck with it, and my brother wears 36 now, and
double.
Well, it's because he likes UC Oakland, but I like to say it's because I'm 18 and he's 36 and want to double mine, but that's what I keep telling myself, but he won't admit it.
UC Oakland to be the answer for 36.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. Just back in the day, I don't know what got into him. He saw the name Jokinen, thought it was funny, and that's been his favorite player ever since. And his reasoning, he wears 36.
Was it Penguins UC Oakland?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What, 3 months he was a Penguin?
Yeah.
That's the determining factor. I mean, I can't say much. I picked 37 because of Jarkko Ruutu. That's pretty bad. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, is it because Patrice Bergeron? I'm like, no.
It's cool that it's a niche player.
Yeah.
Someone who's on the Penguins for when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine's James Neal, Jerome McGinley. All the famous 18s. What number's your brother wear? 27?
No, what? He doesn't wear 27.
Stealing his thunder.
He wears 11. This past season he had 22 because 11 was taken, but now he wears, last season he had 21, but he's always had 11 from when we were kids, so, for a while.
It's a good number, 11. Why 11?
I don't know why he picked it or
Jordan
not,
Staal.
so I honestly couldn't tell you. For the longest time it was 34.
It's a goalie number.
Yeah, I don't know. And then he grew up a little bit, and then it was 11, and then it was 21 because 11 was taken, and then now he's back to 11 this year. He got it, so I don't know why, but I'm sure he has his reasoning.
It's a fun number choice.
Yeah.
Andrew, you want to do skills comp?
Sure.
You want to start?
I'll start. On your team, who would you put as the fastest skater?
Oh, fastest?
Bendy.
I was thinking the same thing. I was
My
probably
boy's
Bendy.
Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan Bendikovic.
No, I call him Ethan now because it just.
That's so weird.
I call him
It's
Ethan.
always
I call him
been
Ethan, and he plays well. So Ethan.
Bendy.
Ethan Bend, same answer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hardest shot that has to hit the net. This is where you got taken out of the competition.
Oh wow.
I don't know. We don't have that many like big, strong guys. we have a lot of little guys.
You see, I don't think many of our defensemen take super hard shots though. Scarilli's was hard when he had a working wrist.
When he had two hands.
Yeah.
Maybe a snapshot. I'd go Betts.
Or if I'm taking a one-timer, it's gonna be Love.
Yeah.
Love is a hard one-timer.
This is yeah.
That's tough. That's just a tough one.
They're
Not
really,
you. You shoot muffins.
I forget who it was. Someone did say you. And then I had to clarify on that, and they're like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll stick with it."
No one should say me for that.
No, should be lying.
Andrew?
Yeah.
We'll go save streak. Which goal is making the most breakaway saves in a row?
Gunner.
For sure.
You guys were way too quick.
It's only because Gunner is just this monstrosity of a man who's 17 feet tall, and he'll make desperation save after desperation save, and it's just insane to watch him.
Yeah, I mean, he could let one go like right past his shoulder or something, but he could be in the corner and someone could be on the goal line and about to tap it in. He's saving it somehow. I don't know how in the world he does it, but he makes them, and he's always done it from the last 3 years. So
Now let me clarify. All of our goalies are great. They would all be very close in this, but Gunner might have the edge by one.
except for you, JB.
That's where I think that was leading towards.
All I know is that JB doesn't have either knee at this point, so Gunner all the way. And Cadeyn. And Liam. And Luke.
Everyone but Jake.
Yeah.
All right, let's go most accurate passer.
Yeah, you can take
Me.
Parker on that list. He's nowhere near that. Maybe Luff.
Yeah.
I've had some crazy passes from Luff that I would never expect to get, but he's got them to me.
I was thinking Quadra.
Oh, he's a great passer too.
If you go left, I'll go Quadra.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Luff. Love it. I still remember our last game. I think it was against Case last year. We were coming in. It might have been a 2-on-3, and I'm cutting back door, and like the 3 Case Western guys start to close in the middle, and he sauces it probably like chest level high right to my stick, and I like tip it into the goalie's chest. And I still had no idea how he got it to me. But there were so many times where he'd throw passes like that, or he'd feed other players like these insane passes, and no one would finish or get it to like make the play after. But he got the puck to them, so
Yeah.
I'm stick with Luff.
That's a good answer.
Accuracy shooting.
Me.
I can't even consider agreeing. Probably Betts.
Well, I was thinking either Rose or Newts.
Oh,
Betts
how did I
is
forget we have
pretty
Newts on our team?
I'd say Newts did lead the team in assists.
Yeah, Newts.
When he shoots, he's a good shot.
Yeah.
That's tough. We just named 3 guys who could all win an accuracy contest.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to it.
The whole first.
I'm gonna go Rose. I think Rose is a little more controlled than Newt sometimes.
I want to see Rosie score more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he needs to, but when he puts it on, it's pretty damn.
I just have no room to talk in this. I got no dog in this fight, so.
This
Not
one
maybe
might
we
win,
should.
maybe. The final one that we're going to talk about is most creative in the shootout. Who pulls off the best moves?
Why would you even say me?
I don't
This
know.
is me.
I said it might be.
I'm just saying
I've never seen you on a break, so how would I know?
Yeah, because I can't get there. Let's see. You would have a good move.
I've
Parker
done
would take a
some-
slap shot from the hash mark, so no.
Yeah, I've done some crazy things in practice. Some
Newt has really
fake
good
Michigans.
hands.
Newt doesn't really go for
No, but
creative
he
stuff.
could.
He should. He shoots a lot.
You know what? I will give it to you. I'll give you that one.
I've done some crazy things in practice through the last few years and try and just. I would see some players pull it off either in like an NHL or an NCAA level or somewhere else, and I'd go practice it a little bit, try it out in the shootouts. It works sometimes, but yeah, I get pretty creative.
Was it you, Weeksy, that had the penalty shot last year?
I was sick.
Oh, okay.
I
We
was
got on.
sick.
We had 2 Weeksy clips go viral last year. One was the penalty shot, and the other one was you spraying the goaltender.
Oh, I did do that. That was sophomore year, I think.
That was sophomore. Was it sophomore year?
Might have been. I can't remember.
I remember
Yeah,
the penalty,
no.
the penalty shot was the tie, right? I think.
It was tied against Akron.
Yeah.
And Weeks goes and takes the shot. Goalie saves it and just brushes him off. I'll never forget that. 'Cause that's probably like my favorite video of all time.
Yeah, no, I was sick leading up to that, and that was literally like my first day back of like full skating. That was, but I still own
It might have been the same game both of those clips came from.
No, because I snowed the goalie.
Where's
I
that
think
row?
It might not have been him then. 'Cause
No.
I know somebody snowed Akron's goalie.
Somebody did snow.
No, I
Akron's
think that
goal.
was Parker this year.
That was last year.
No,
Last
Parker
year?
snowed a couple different goalies this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he didn't
It
play
wasn't.
first period in one of those
I think he didn't
games.
play against Akron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that happened at St. Vincent or at
No,
UP?
'cause
So it started at. Sorry, I didn't cut you off, but IUP at home, he crossed the blue line with like 4 seconds left. It's offsides. Whistle already blows. Takes a slap shot. So that's the first infraction.
Yeah.
Then we go to UPJ. Again, 6 seconds left. We're losing 3-0. He runs the goalie. He likes to, with no time left. He likes to do things to goalies that, I mean, as a defenseman, if it happened behind me, I wouldn't take too kindly.
Yeah.
No, I think was when I snowed the goalie was Rowan when they came here. Or
It might have
something.
been wrong.
I can't remember, but I know, I do remember exactly. I can't remember what team, but I went down and I snowed them, and they all came at me, and the ref pulled me aside, and I was like, I'm sorry, he looked a little too hot. I wanted to cool him off. I do remember that.
I know it's at no point, but was it Kent?
It might have been
That
Ken.
sounds right.
Oh,
That
maybe
sounds
it
right.
was
I was
Ken.
thinking yellow.
That sounds right.
And it was definitely Ken, because I was thinking of a yellow team, and it was most definitely Ken. So
I just remember looking through. I have it saved on Instagram every time either like an RME person gets on or like I'm on or
Mhm.
for a call. I just remember seeing like, oh, there's Weeksy snowing a goalie.
yeah,
Oh, there's Weeksy on a penalty shot.
yeah, good times. Glad I could get some viral moments.
How doesn't your goal go viral though? You had those two. I feel like that one's way more up here on
Yeah,
Because there's no story behind it. No one knows the whole story behind it.
yeah. I mean,
unless we give them the story.
Who wants to read all that?
Put in like the stretch. You do it in 3 sentences.
I mean, have you ever talked about it here? Like, have you talked about it yet at the beginning of the season? I'm open to talk.
I did
about
not
it.
because I feel like it's something that
Yeah,
you
no, that's
should be open to.
yeah. I mean, I have no problem telling about it. I mean, it's an emotional thing, but I mean, it's not anything that anyone can control. But so one morning, it was Monday, September 18th. I woke up with some chest pains and it hurt to breathe a little bit. And so we went in, called my mom. I was like, hey, it hurts a little bit in my chest, hurts to breathe. I mean, I didn't feel like this all weekend or anything like that. Like, it's just kind of random. And she's like, well, might as well just go into Med Express. get it checked out. Worst thing was worse. You pulled a muscle in your sleeve. Worst thing that could happen. It was not the worst thing that could happen. So, went to Med Express. They did a bunch of tests and an X-ray and everything. Everything looked fine. And they were like, since you're still in pretty bad pain and it's kind of worrying where it's at and all that. Like, could be your lung, blah, blah, blah. They named a bunch of stuff. And then I kind of passed out when they named a few things because it's scary when they mention things like that and it ends up being one of the worst things. But so I went to the ER and thankfully I had Max drive me because I was not in a state to drive. So Max takes me to the ER in Weekley and they do a little more tests and all that. And they ended up finding 2 blood clots on my right lung. So they weren't too sure where it was from, but they kept me overnight for 1 or 2 nights until they could kind of figure out what happened and diagnose everything and stuff like that and just get everything under control. So we did all that, spent my time in the hospital, and they recommended me going to a hematologist. So I went to the one in Moon and had some more blood work done, some more thorough and direct blood tests, and it came back that I have a genetic mutation called Factor V, and I like to say that I saved my family because after I got tested and I was positive for it, obviously my family follows it because it can be hereditary. So it turns out pretty much my family is positive for Factor V, but it's only on one cell instead of both, so it's not as dangerous, but I mean it's still something that you need to be cautious of. So they were like, okay, well, it kind of seems unprovoked and everything like that, and they asked me if I had any long trips or anything like that within the last 3 months, and the only one I could think of was coming back home from Japan from when I studied abroad over the summer. And I didn't think it was in the 3 time months, but within, when I was talking to my hematologist to let me play in senior night, I was thinking about it, and it kind of ends up, right at that 3-month mark. So I want to say it's from the flight, which kind of kicked it, but it also led to being positive for Factor V, and that just allows your blood to kind of clot easier and have clots easier, and I'm not exactly a whole lot on it. I should be kind of caught up on it, but so they put me on Eliquis, which is a blood thinner to control the blood clots and kind of allow my blood to thin up and deteriorate the clots and get rid of them enough to where I can be normal somewhat. But I'm on blood thinners it was 2 years at the diagnosis, but it's been about 5 or 6 months now, so about another 1.5 years I can come off, and I have a checkup at the end of March, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe it'll change, maybe, who knows, but I'm fine now. My lungs fully healed and everything, obviously, since I got to play, so that was a fun time trying to convince her to let me play, because I was trying to come back the whole entire second half of the season. But it just would have been too dangerous. And I can't play on blood thinners because since my blood is so thin, if I were to get hit or some really cheap shot to the head or something like that, could have a brain bleed and most likely would die before I even got to the hospital, just because of how fast that can happen and how dangerous it is. So that is why I had to miss out on the senior year and stuff. So, but I'm just happy I got my one game, and I still got to practice. And even though I couldn't practice full contact and pretty much started my coaching journey a little early, I still got to be around the team and be a part of the team and those guys and everyone else and the coaches and Joseph and everyone. The whole club hockey organization has made this year amazing for me, even though I couldn't play and be a part of the team. I still was very much part of the team, and everyone made that very known and stuff. So I couldn't be happier to be part of this organization after this entire year, and it really showed what kind of program this school has. So
We're happy you got to go out on your own terms.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing for you.
I know no matter what, if I didn't even have a doctor's excuse, I was going to try to pause them for play one game. But I'm glad I could get it on board with a doctor. So, but yeah, so that is the whole story of why I didn't play this year and my injury. So
In the end, 1 goal, 1 game. That's perfect percentage. That's how we want to end it,
Yeah.
right? The positive
Perfect
side of it.
season.
Exactly.
So I was fine with it. That's all I could ask for. I'd be lying if I didn't say I cried that entire day. It was senior day or senior night. Even during the day before I got to the rink, I started getting teary-eyed thinking about it. But I wouldn't ask for a better way to go out. So
It's like a storybook ending, you know?
yeah, and I'm okay with that. I can graduate peacefully with that.
Exactly.
So
Last game, last goal. Everything just kind of worked out the way it's supposed
against
to.
WU as well, and
Technically your
everything like
hometown
that.
school.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, like I said, perfect way to graduate. So,
let's talk about the coaching career a little bit. I know you've seen Archaea make the move to coaching. You briefly touched on it. You gonna possibly join? See both of you maybe make appearances behind the bench next year.
I won't be. No. Did my time, did my 5 years. I mean, this half the semester, having to get up for work so early, I haven't even gone to most of the practices. So as a player, I haven't gone to a lot of practices. As a coach, I wouldn't go to as many either. So I don't know how effective I would be. So long story short, no, I don't think I'll be coaching behind the bench, but you will see me in the stands.
Defensive analyst.
Yeah, I'll say some words in the locker room in between, but I won't be coaching.
yeah, no, I mean, this year kind of kickstarted it off for me and stuff, and it really did open my eyes to a new aspect of the sport that I didn't realize I would enjoy just as much as I did as being on the ice. But being up there on the bench behind all these guys during the home games and some away games just made me realize how much I do love this sport, even if I don't play it. So I definitely, even if it's not behind the Colonials next year, maybe go home and go to my high school and start somewhere there, or go home and start in our old travel program, start young and work my way up. I definitely will be probably starting my coaching career next year, and even towards this year, the beginning of next year. So, but I will be here in the fall, so I probably am going to make that transition to offensive coach.
Yeah.
So, but
I completely forgot to touch on this. You're a 2-time roller hockey champion.
I am a 2-time hockey champion back-to-back. I mean, D4 just did it as well, so big props to them and all those guys. They definitely deserved it, and that's a huge accomplishment and stuff. I mean, I picked up roller hockey too. I played it growing up in the summer because I just loved hockey that much, and we had this nice little outdoor rink, Tunnel Green. It was probably the worst rink known to man. Tiles were coming up, holes in the fences. You had homeless people using it as a home, put tents there and stuff. It was quite the rink, but we would always go out there as kids, and just growing up, anytime it was nice and sunny, we'd get our rollerblades and go out and play and stuff. So, and when I saw they had a team here and stuff, I was like, I know I wanted to play, and I definitely wanted to be a part of it and stuff. So I found out there was a Tier 2 one, which wasn't as serious as the Tier 1 and a little more laid back. I wouldn't compare it to beer league, but I would definitely compare it to, it's not like it's way more competitive than that, but same easygoing level and something you can still enjoy and be a part of and stuff. And all those guys and Sydney, of course, and everyone else, a part of that team and that program, they definitely helped and made me enjoy my hockey time here. Even though it wasn't ice, it was any hockey I enjoyed here, whether it's ice, the roller, it's all been a great time to all the friends and teammates that I've had, so I can thank them all for it.
Couldn't get him to play.
I asked him, but I mean, I don't know if he's good on wheels.
I can't stop on wheels.
Well, that stop. Just keep going.
Yeah.
The boards will stop you.
I'm a big body, I'd hurt.
I would love to see you out there on roller.
I mean, maybe over the spring you'll catch me out there just playing some pickup, but you wouldn't catch me in an organized league. He's played his entire life. I'd go maybe once or twice a summer.
Yeah.
On my broken Reebok 3Ks.
Hey, Weeksy was only... You know, the fun thing, I don't know if you know this, is Weeksy was second in scoring on that team behind a goalie.
Behind Parker.
Parker Rutherford put up 30 goals in like 7 games or something.
Yeah, but he played in like an actual league all growing up in Indiana.
There's no age limit on Tier 2.
Yeah, so, he was a phenomenal goalie, but he was pretty good at freaking roller hockey as a player and stuff. And now he's out playing semi-pro and back at goalie, so I wish him all the luck, and I miss him. So,
Mr. Parker, got to see him a couple times going back.
Yeah, he's been around for a few senior nights for D1 and a couple other events, and I've got to talk to him. Hopefully, he comes out, makes a trip in the summer, and stops by. So,
let's end it off with one final question for you guys. If you had to summarize your whole RMU career the best you can, how would you want to be remembered here? This is Baker's spotlight first here. I'll give Captain the supreme one here.
Well, I think that's how I want to be remembered, is for the 2 years that I was the captain. I mean, you could also throw in the other 2 that I had the A, but I'd rather not be remembered for something that I did on the ice, but rather I'd want everyone to kind of remember how I was off the ice, and hopefully everyone thinks I was a good captain, and I want people to, especially the people who are going to come after me, to kind of take the little bits of what I did and all the things that I took from all the captains that came before me, and I want them to kind of remember me for how I was as a leader position and a locker room presence as well.
I think I'm in agreement with Baker. Is I don't want to be remembered for my on-ice accomplishments, and more of like being part of the program and everything that I brought to the team and the organization, and for all the younger guys and for all the older guys that I've learned from, that I can teach what I've learned and add my own little touch to it, to the new guys and the younger generation, and just being able to have a good effect on all the teammates, whether it been roller or ice or whatever, even for the kids I didn't play with on D4 or D1 or the girls team, all the relationships that I've built with all the players, all the coaches, everyone. That's what I would like to be remembered for and stuff. And maybe a little bit of the little comeback story, but don't let everything stop you from what you really want and being able to come back. And even if you have a lot of challenges in front of you, you can still do it. So
it's been a pleasure the last 3 years to call your guys' games. I've only got to call, I think, one Baker goal in my whole life. I know. Weeksy did it in one period. Against you, PJ, last year.
Hey, mine's just a little bit more special then.
Exactly. But it's been a pleasure for both of you guys. You've been great leaders. And you said you want to be remembered for great leaders. You were. I will be a big testament to that.
Thank you.
And I can definitely say it's been a pleasure watching back the streams and hearing all the stats and all the phenomenal calls that you've made over the last 3 years of knowing you and stuff. So I'm greatly appreciated for all the work you've done on the stream and everything else. So
roller or ice, what was your favorite?
Oh, I don't know. I think the ice felt a little more personal, but the roller ones were just so much more fun. So I don't know. Probably the ice, because those were way more meaningful.
Going back to your on-ice calls, I'm 99% sure after every game him and I played, we would either be at my place or his watching them on my living room TV. It would have been 11 o'clock that night. We'd just gotten home and was like, hey, let's put it on the TV and watch it. So we'd watch and listen to your calls every time. Also, appreciate that you came out to Delmont this year.
Yeah.
Thank her. Thank Peyton. I had to bribe
Thank
her
you.
to do
Thank
it.
you guys for that.
Yeah.
No problem.
Not just for us, but the entire organization. I know at D4, it probably meant a lot to them being able to have theirs recorded again, and D1 and their playoff trip, and I know for ours, that especially with all the parents in this organization and family members and friends I got to watch from it, you guys have helped tremendously and have been a big part of this program's growth. So.
No problem. It was fun.
It's always, hey, this isn't the last time you guys will be on here, so don't think this is it just yet.
Oh,
no. Game show's coming up for you guys.
Oh.
So
All right.
it's your season recap. You two are the senior team. So you guys get to pick the junior team, sophomore, freshman. We'll have to find a day that's coming up that's going to work. But
Okay.
Study up. That's your warning here. Study up. Because we haven't started your questions yet, but they might be a little hard. They might be a little easy. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far.
Okay, well, you need to study up a little more than I do, but...
Maybe.
See how
I think I know my guys. So,
Who would you want to see? Who would you want to go up against? Junior, sophomore, freshman team? Who would you want to pick?
Freshman, I have to go up against Zinner. I have to go up against my mini-me.
The mini-me.
Him and Ethan.
yeah.
Okay.
So
If Zinner's your mini-me, Bendy's my mini-me.
That's fair.
I've claimed him.
Sophomores, it's got to be... Give me Rose and Wade or Jackson and Wade.
Okay.
I think Jackson and Wade.
Those two would be a fun pairing
That's
to
a
have
fun
on.
duo.
And then juniors...
Who is juniors?
I think, Betsy, Nudie, Gunner. I guess you can technically put JV in that group.
Yeah.
And Jack.
You could throw Cosmo in
Jack.
too. Give me Jack
Technically.
and Gunner.
Jack.
I could do Jack and Gunner.
I was thinking Newts and Betts.
Newts and Bats would be a good one too.
Hey, it's your guys' call. You're the one who sets
We'll formulate the group of people who have the worst chance to win against us, and we'll bring
Oh,
them.
yeah.
We'll bring them.
So it's going to be a battle of who just somehow gets the most guessing correct.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go study up all your calls because I feel like that's gonna
It
be
might
a
not
big
be always
question.
close.
but
We don't know. Could be penalty minutes. Could be shots. Could
I'm
be
very good at penalty
career
minutes.
stat. Yeah, you're in there a lot.
Hey, no, this year I had none until it was like 2 Saturdays ago. I got my first one, and then it was an avalanche.
You're
from there.
very clean.
I was clean, and then we had 4 games left, and I was going out. With the bang.
No, that was the game you got ejected because you got hit from behind. And then I was like, "Good job for Baker keeping his cool." And then I said, "Oh,
And I
this
got
helmet's off."
punched in the mouth a few times, and this thing happened, and that thing happened, and then I found myself in the locker room.
You and about 5 of your other teammates.
Yeah, it was kind of.
Duquesne. Yes.
It was very
I was
enjoyable.
there. I got thrown out of that game too.
It was fun being in the shower and just seeing more people come up. I'm like, oh, cool, game's over. No, it's not. I got thrown out. All right, join me.
Man, a lot of fun memories.
Oh, a lot of fond memories. Yeah.
Study up. It'll be probably after spring break, so you got time.
No, that's all I'm gonna do for spring break.
Just study up.
Sit in front of my TV and just watch clips. Look at all the history.
Who knows? We'll see how it goes. The winners all meet in the final. Be the D1 versus D2.
Yeah,
versus
he's
D3,
got to get as much
D4
screen
winner.
time in for him because they limit TV time in retirement homes. So.
Hey, you're going to retirement home too.
A year older than
go
you.
First.
I'll save your seat, buddy.
Thanks.
Right next to me in front of the TV.
Perfect. Just like sophomore year.
You're the one next to the buttons, though, so I never do anything.
Yeah, you always were that lazy.
Brian Baker and Tyler Weekley, thanks guys for coming on.
Thank
Of
you.
course, thank you.
Can't wait
It's
to
been an
have
honor.
you guys back in hopefully a couple weeks here. Maybe
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys, claim the title as D3 champions in the Jeopardy categories. We'll see.
I gotta be a champion somehow.
Oh, yeah.
It's been 5 years and I have no hardware.
You have one playoff win in this.
That's still not hardware.
It's memorable.
That's true. It's all gonna stay up here.
This has been the last official episode of Club Hockey Live in this format. And then next week we'll have, I believe, the D4 team will come on. They'll get the first crack at their Jeopardy questions. So we'll set this in, so maybe keep an eye on that.
Gonna have to.
Yeah.
The question might be similar. We don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks again to Brian and Tyler for coming on. I'm Cadeyn McCrory.